Or is it a lot of hope? There's a lot of hype. Do these companies need a lot of help?
Well, Brian, as you say, next year is going to be the year to see if they can actually make cars and if they can deliver cars. Elon Musk has said many times that the easy part of building a car company is getting the company up and running. The hard part is actually building cars at scale, keeping manufacturing running through all of the problems that you encounter. And now we're in a market where there's all sorts of supply chain concerns and labor market concerns. So it will be a fascinating time to see if these promises can turn into reality at some point in the next year or so.
Yeah, listen, nobody cares, but my 5 predictions are coming out this week, and one of them is that EV sales are going to boom. But there is a problem with that, where I'm nervous about my prediction is the raw materials. All right, when you look at what it takes to build an electric car, to build a battery, you need a lot of rare earths, you need a lot of copper, you need workers, you need supply chains to work. How much risk is there on that side of it? Rivian already they just started bringing down their production estimates.
Yeah, huge risks. And if you look at sort of the scaled car companies, the legacy makers, whether it's a Nissan or a Chevy, even Porsche with its Taycan, they're all building their own EVs, and they have much bigger balance sheets where they can weather some of these losses or some of the concerns around, as you say, raw materials, around labor. If the only thing that you're doing is building electric cars, and if you've yet to start doing that, or if you've yet to get into deliveries, those are all massive risks, because as an investor, how do you build that into your model when the entire goal here is to start getting cars out the door, to start getting keys into consumers' hands, by mid next year or so.
Yeah, and you got the big companies too. Let's not forget, you mentioned Porsche, Ari, and we talk about all these hot companies like the Rivians of the world and the Lucids of the world, and they're sexy. The cars are amazing. They're also, by the way, pretty doggone expensive. If you watched football over the weekend yesterday, you saw a lot of ads, for Audi, car companies that have made cars for 50 to 100 years, Ford, getting into the space. How are the little guys, or not so little guys, ex-Tesla, going to compete against the VWs of the world with their ID4?
Yeah, I think fortunately for them at this point, demand does not appear to be the issue. They have pretty thick order books. Certainly Rivian and Lucid, have more orders than they'll be able to manufacture in the near term. So currently demand is not the issue. And, as we are expecting this explosion in EV sales and EV demand, they can be right there with some of the bigger companies, certainly at the higher end of the market. The issue will be as cars start rolling off the lines and consumers start driving them, what are the reviews like? Are they having issues? And are they able to actually meet some of that early demand? Or are we going to start to see huge supply issues get in the way? So we should start to get clarity over that in the next couple quarters. But currently I would say competition will always be a risk in this market. That is not the thing that is top of mind for them at the moment.
And Ari, if they build it, does that necessarily mean consumers will come? The reason I ask is because, the punting of the Build Back Better bill, that had some credits in there that could incentivize consumers to actually purchase electric vehicles. But there's no guarantee that just because all of these vehicles are delivered that there will be demand for them, right?
Sure, no guarantee for many of the pre-orders. Those are refundable deposits. So, how much of that will actually how much of those will turn into real cars, real orders is a question. But again, currently it does not look like demand is the issue for the short term. Once we start to see how these cars perform, whether they have problems, whether they have recalls could obviously be disastrous for any of these companies. Then I think we start to get a clearer picture of future demand. But the EV credits could be an issue. It's just that the view is that the long-term trend is towards the EV anyway, with or without these credits. So it's really a matter of, do they buy a Rivian or Lucid, or are they going to be further down market in something like a Nissan Leaf or a Chevy Bolt? And then, of course, you've got the Tesla models that will continue to roll out.